In 2013, work began on the construction of two apartment complexes in Elmshall and Bath Estate. The buildings were constructed by Chinese firm Shanghai Construction Company through a soft loan from the People's Republic of China. The project, which comprises 36 apartments in Elmshall and 24 in Bath Estate, are all part of government's commitment to provide adequate, affordable housing to the people of Roseau. These apartments form part of an urban renewal project which included the construction of the Dominica State College and the new State House. It's a new style of housing for Dominica. The apartments were constructed with lightweight steel material and, according to the construction firm, quite durable by United States and China standards. The apartments are available in 2 and 3 bedroom units, complete with a bathroom, living and dining area, and a kitchen. To understand the level of impact such programs are having on the ordinary Dominican, it's important to meet with them, sit and hear their stories. Well, GIS did just that. Sylvia Dupuy, 60, originally of Portersville, and her family has had their fair share of trouble living in rented houses. The last was not a pleasant experience, but being low-income earners and finding a suitable environment with adequate living conditions in the city is difficult. When we arrived at the Dupuys, the day's lunch was already being prepared, but we found time to have a chat. Mrs. Dupuy, it's good to be in your house. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for welcoming GIS. And I must say that you have done a splendid job with your apartment.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about living here? Tell us a little bit about, how you feel since you've come into this apartment.
I feel like a different person. I'm so happy about it. Kim, you will not imagine. Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
I love it. I love everything about that place. Compared to where I was, living in Portersville, oh boy.
Tell me about that. Tell me where you were living before, about that condition you were in.
Okay. It was a whole set of rats. Rats in the living room playing hopscotch, rats in the outside playing football. Especially when I lie down on the bed and I look in the room, they pass in, maybe they come in and tell me good night, I don't know. Anytime they will fall. Don't talk about water. Anytime I would see the clouds turn grey, I have to look for pails, rags and put there. And then I have to cover set. I couldn't clean my house like a normal house. I can't sweep there, it's always wet. During Erica, I had to take out cloth on the floor, wring outside and put back on the floor. And I used to sit down on the porch every night and look up to the heavens and pray and ask for a miracle. And thank God that miracle came true. Thanks to the government of Dominica.
Wow, I can see you're really passionate about that.
I tell you, I cannot stop thanking God for that government. And they really have to go, but for 20 more years. Yes, they have to go, but for 20 more years. The government, they're doing so many good things for people, and I tell you, I'm feeling so happy and proud to be in that place. I never believe I would be living in a nice place like that.
Yes, yes.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Very much.
Some people would say that if you were living in that condition in Portersville, why didn't you move to another apartment?
I looked for places. I got places, but you would find right up Kings Hill, Canefield East. My husband is working until 11:30 at night. He had water transport to walk up that road. No, I couldn't trust doing that. So I just had to stay in it and pray for a miracle every night.
And even too with the cost of housing, the cost of renting houses, sometimes it's not really affordable, especially for people, with low income or middle income, right?
Yes. And living in a condition like that, every month I had to pay $500 and counting the notes. I used to say, but why should I have to pay all that in that kind of house? But I had to do it. It's not my house. I had to pay it.
Yeah. So I want to know about the day you found out that you were one of the recipients of these apartments, because we know that there are a few apartments, about 60, and over 900 people applied for housing, and you were one of the persons who is successful. Tell me how you felt. Tell me about the day that you found out that you were going to receive this apartment.
That day, my husband was just preparing for work. It was maybe after 2. He was just preparing for work. When I got that call, he said, "Is that Sylvia Dupuy?" I said, "Yes. Can you come to the ministry for your keys for your apartment?" I say, "What?" I almost fell in my husband's foot when they told me that I hold his hand. I say, "Bernard, they called me for the keys. They tell me to come before 4. I don't know how I get dressed, but I run across the bridge. I cannot believe I'm walking and I'm not seeing my foot moving. When I reach in the office, I sweated. They have aircon, but I'm sweating. When I went to the office, Mr. Blackmore asked me to sign. I signed my name. He gave me the keys. Then he wished me good luck. Then he tell him to come and bring me and see the apartment. But my claim step is my seeing steps. When I came in and my keys in my hand, I say, "Oh, thank God. Thank God." I was so happy.
I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy. And so when did you move into this apartment?
I moved in just before Carnival. Just before Carnival, I moved in.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more, about how it is living here, about the environs, because it's different from where you were. You were in Pottersville, in an area that you said was rat infested, and now you're here. You're on the last floor up, right? But what's the environment like here?
I love it. I just love everything, because you find it's like we are one family living in the apartments, like we are one family. And it's completely different from where I lived in Pottersville. And it's just nice. I love it.
Wonderful. We take a break to check the pot, and we come back. And I noticed photos of 2 prime ministers, the current, Honorable Skerritt, and past Prime Minister Douglas, proudly displayed among the Dupuy's family portraits. I see you have your picture of your 2 prime ministers here, Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt and Honorable Douglas. I'm sure you would, want an opportunity to say thank you, because it's something to be grateful for.
Yes.
Whether it is something that you have to pay for until it becomes yours, or it's something that is free.
That's right. Yes.
I believe you feel grateful for this, and I can see it coming from the way that you speak. So I'm just gonna give you an opportunity now, to express that gratitude.
I would really like to thank the government of Dominica and Prime Minister Skerritt for this gift, the gift of many gifts. And I really, really wish for him to stay there to do more for other people who are in need of. I would like to say thank you. Thank you, Papa Skerritt. Thank you.
And thank you. When we come back, we speak with 79-year-old Summer Jamari, proud recipient of a new 2-bedroom apartment in Bath Estate. I was warmly welcomed in the home of Summer Jamari. Jamari is 79 and she has seen a lot. She has seen governments come and go. She has lived in and out of Dominica, trying to find a better life for herself. She recounts to me a difficult childhood, losing her father when he was only 35 and being raised by a single mother of 4 children. After leaving school at 15, bearing 4 children herself, and working for a while at a craft shop, Jamari marries and moved to St. Martin with her husband. But things did not work out as she expected, so they moved back to Dominica, and she created employment for herself, vending to tourists on the bayfront. She tells me she did this until 2007, until she could no longer work.
Life was not so good, so I migrated to St. Martin in 1972.
Okay.
And it was so much better, because St. Martin at that time was not fully developed, just beginning. So I used to work $80 a week, US. And then I went on and went on. Then that was in 1972 I went to St. Martin. And 1975 I met my husband. And then we got married on the 18th of March 1977. Yes. We had no children because he met me with mine and he had his.
Okay.
Well, we stayed in St. Martin a short while after. And then after a while, things was not working as I expected, you know. So I told my husband, no, I didn't come here to Guay. Let me go back to Dominica instead.
Dominica, yes. And
So
then so when you got back home?
I came back in 1993.
Okay.
And then at that time the tourist season had just started. So I went to the authorities, you know, to get a spot so I could vend. And that's how I began, you know, making a positive income.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you would do that on the bayfront?
Yes, I used to vend at the bayfront. And sometimes I had a little spot in the town, Hillsborough Street. So I would go there and vend also when there's no boat. You understand? So then after arthritis take over my body, you know.
Yes.
So I stayed 1 month in the hospital. I had a bad foot, my left foot had bad circulation, and so they kept me 1 month, and then after I couldn't vend no more.
Okay. And that was, when did you stop vending?
I stopped vending around 2004.
Okay. So where were you living at this
At this time I lived in different places, you know, renting different homes.
Around Roseau?
Around Roseau. And then in 2004 I came to live at Fiddling.
Things started getting even more difficult, so Mrs. Jean-Marie decided to apply for government housing assistance in 2011.
Yes, I got a positive response from the government. Yes, they would
assist
help me. So then I waited. Then Erica came and spoiled that I was supposed to get one of the homes, you know. But Erica came and mashed up. So I had to wait. So when finance was a little tight, I went to the PM.
Okay.
So one thing with him, he listens when you talk to him.
Yes.
And he understands. For a young man, he have a heart. He knows, I don't know, he feel your pain. So I spoke to him and he asked me certain questions about my rent and certain things, if I'm getting a pension. And I said no, I was always self-employed. So he said, I will make you get a house. But I'm not the only person in need, so I didn't put that in my mind, but I know he's a man that kept his promise. But I did not know that I was going to get a house so soon, that I went to him in August. And then when he told me, after a while, you know, the walking movement, my husband used to go, and he told him, you will get a house, I'm going to get a house. To my surprise, in November last year, October, 7 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call. The phone was ringing. I said, who is that person early morning? I don't get them calling me. So I pick up the phone. Are you Soma Jean-Marie? I say, yes. He said, you have to come and collect your keys. I said, which key? He said, the key to your apartment. I said, which apartment? He said, yes, you're getting an apartment at Bath Estate. I said, what? Anyway, I told my husband, look, such and such a person called, and they tell me to come and collect a key. So go and see, because I had the, you know, the time they had a flu in the, so he went. The person tell me, come before 8. So he went, and he came with a bunch of keys. He tell me, Soma, you get a nice apartment in Bath Estate. I was overjoyed, because after all this horror, to see God answer my prayer and give me a place. But I have to give thanks to my parep, Alvin Bernard. He is the one that was me at that time.
Yes.
So he told us, we're working on something for all you. But he never told us what it was. You understand?
Yes,
So when we get that, it was a surprise to us, but a very loving surprise.
Yes, yes.
And when we came, my daughter had just come from New York for her daughter's wedding, Christabel. So she tell me, Soma, we are going right away. She started washing glasses and packing. I said, no, I'll go after Christmas. She said, no way, God give you a house. You cannot go after Christmas. You're going right now.
Yes,
She started packing. So, well, I sat saying with her, you know, my husband and her, they're packing. And we came in here. Lo and behold, I saw the place for the first time. I was amazed at what I saw.
Yes.
And I tell you, I thank God He answered my prayer.
Yes.
Because I needed a place. Because
Tell me about, you know, the conditions that you were in before. Because you keep saying you needed a place and all the
Yes.
horrors. So tell me about that.
well, there was a time I couldn't pay the rent.
Yeah.
You know, certain times the rent 3 months going up, and you know, I have to go to the PM. I don't like that begging business,
Yes.
but he always helped. I went twice. You understand? We went year before. The year before, that was in 2015. No, 2014. And then we went back 2016.
Okay.
And you know, he helped us. But I don't like to owe people.
Right.
It's a burden when you owe in. You always have to be looking behind. So that was a weight lifted off my shoulder
Yeah.
when I got that call to come and collect the keys.
Yes. To
Yeah.
something that is yours.
Yes,
To a
to
gift.
God be the glory. And I must say that God put that guy there to take care of the elderly, especially young people and the elderly. Because you don't see people interested in poor people like that way. It is not often you can go to a prime minister in his office and he will sit down and listen to what you have to say.
And somebody like you would know this because you have passed through several
Yes, I'm 79 years.
Yes.
I'm not a teenager. And I have seen governments come and governments go. Imagine at my mother's time, my mother had 4 of us, nobody helped her. She had a sewing machine, and only the nuns I know sometimes will give us a little food. And when they get closed, maybe she was a seamstress, she could fix things good, you know. But apart from that, no government had never, at no time at all, helped. Nobody.
And people need the help, right?
Yes.
People like
Well,
you
the trouble
need
is
the
that
help.
they're helping the people that really need the help.
Yes, yes.
I mean, they are not doing it for popularity. They're doing it because they have a heart that feels for people. Because if you have never been hungry, you cannot know what a person hungry is going for. You understand? You don't know what is hunger. The man is a young guy, a young girl that born yesterday morning. To have such compassion for people, it is not often you see that. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I understand what you mean.
It's not often, and that I must thank God for that prime minister we had there. If we lose him in Dominica, we will finish.
Why do you say that?
Because what he has done for us, we will never get another person so concerned about people's need. Because unless you have been very hungry, you never know what a hungry person going through. You have to be in it. And he's young. So I don't think he was ever in that kind of situation, you know? So I will say, thank God for Skerrit. May God bless him, give him long life, health, and happiness. That's what I have to say, because I am living very comfortable. Every day I get up, I give thanks unto God.
I asked Jean-Marie about a message she would love to give to the people of her country, and this is what she wanted everyone to know. What do you want to say to Dominicans, for the elderly people, young people, even the people who have gotten apartments, because, you know, several people have
Well,
gotten
all
apartments?
I have to say to Dominicans, pray for that Prime Minister. Put him before the throne of God every day. And I will tell the young people, the government have a lot of opportunity offering the young people. Make use of it. Don't waste your time selling drugs. That's not a trade. You'll end in jail. But make use of the opportunity the government is offering you, because it will not last forever. I never got that. Nobody never give us a chance. And I am saying the man is trying his best to help the youth, especially young mothers, that sometimes when you're young, a guy come, you get pregnant, you turn his back, and you have to face the problem by yourself. And that man is helping young mothers, which I have never heard in my whole life. We have to put that man before the great white throne every day and ask God to give him health and strength for him to carry on. And don't think if you go and cast your vote and say, I am not going to vote that government, I'm going to try something new. No, a bird in the hand is better than the one in the bush. You know what you have, but you never know what you're going to get. That's what I will tell Dominicans on a whole. Don't leave a person that can give you a bread to eat on a daily basis. If let somebody offer you biscuit what you have never seen, hold on to what you've got.
Thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Okay.
It was really great talking to you.
It's good talking to you too.
Yes.